In this video, I'm going to show you instructions on how to go ahead and replace the fuel filter for a Audi Q7 TDI. This will be the same process if you have the Q5 TDI and also the Volkswagen, also the V6 TDI version. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it, put a new one, and also how to prime it as well. As always, I'll be posting links down in the description as to where I get the parts. So the first part is the fuel filter itself. I recommend use 2 hose clamps, and you need a set of pliers in order to remove the little hose clamps off. And I'm using VCDS to go ahead and prime the fuel filter. If you have another type of software or program that you use that allows you to prime the fuel line, then that works too, but I'm going to be showing you on how to do it with the VCDS. So the fuel filter is located on the driver's side here in the US. So there's 2 lines. There's one line right here and another line right here. One thing I forgot to mention before I go on, make sure you have rags, because you'll still spill a little bit of diesel, and you don't want to spill all over your engine bay. So just go ahead to have the rags just there to catch it. And so this is where I put one of the clamps right here and the other one right here. And also wear some gloves, because you'll more than likely get some diesel all over yourself. So not all over yourself, but you just don't want to get them on your hands. So it doesn't matter which one you pull out, so just go ahead, pick one, and then go on and move on to the other one. So one thing I want to mention, this may or may not happen to you, but this happened to me. So this clamp right here, it was just giving me a headache to remove. So I went ahead and just got it off by all means. I'm going to replace it with this clamp right here. Luckily on this side, this clamp was actually nice and easy for me to remove. So in order to get to this, to have a little bit more freedom, right now the fuel filter is attached to some sort of frame. So down below right here are these little grommets that kind of just connect to it. Just slowly just comes right out, and so now it's free to move. So that gives me the access that I need to go ahead and remove this hose right here. So I'm going to be careful and see if I can go ahead and just give this like a twist to get it undone. It's coming slowly. Just have the rags ready just in case if some fuel comes out. So there. So I'm going to go ahead, hold the fuel filter like this and carry it and go ahead and dispose of it correctly. So now the hoses are now free, and I'm gonna go ahead and put in the new filter. And just remember how it came out. So this right here is with the arrows facing this way. So just make sure you put in the new filter facing the correct direction as these arrows right here are showing. This is how the filter arrives in the box. It has these some little foam paddings just for, I guess, so it doesn't get damaged in transportation. So you're gonna go ahead and remove these out of the way, and you're gonna go ahead and reuse these same little I'm not sure what exactly these things are called, but yeah, so you're gonna reuse these, remove them from the old one, and again remember the arrows are facing towards the cabin, and this way is facing like towards the headlights, if that makes sense. And that's the direction you can see by the arrows how to align the fuel filter. So make sure you line it right. So I'm gonna go ahead, insert the new, not the new, but the old little, I don't know, fuel filter holder. On this side there's a thing that says in. On the other side it says out. So go ahead, remove these little things, these little taps, and I'm gonna go ahead and remember, put it in this way, and that's in. So remember on this side I actually had to use this remove, kind of destroy the original hose clamp. So I'm gonna put this little hose clamp on this side, and then go ahead and just connect it right in, and that's pretty much most of the hard work right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and clamp this hose and put the hose clamp back on here. Okay, so both hose clamps are nice and tight, and this is back in its location. Remember, now we can go ahead And there's these two little holes right here where this little fuel filter holder just pretty much just snaps or just goes into place. So now that the fuel filter holder is back in its frame, I can go ahead now and remove these hose clamp stoppers. And that's pretty much the hard part of this DIY. And then if you did remove, like I did, I just moved this hose out of the way, just make sure you just clip that back onto this hose. So that's, like I said, that's the hard part of it. And next I'm gonna go ahead inside the car and let's use VCDS. But before you do, just a good habit, put in the mileage that it was done at and the date as well. And this is what I meant by writing on the filter. So the time of recording this is November 24th 2021, and this is the mileage that I did it at, which is 55,723. And this needs to be changed out every 20,000 miles. So every 20,000 miles this fuel filter needs to be replaced. So now before we can start, do not start the car. Please do not start the car because there is air in this filter / in the lines. You don't want to get air with a diesel engine. So now we're going to go ahead and use VCDS and go ahead and prime the air out, and then from there you'll be able to start the car. But right now, I'll say it again, do not start the car. You need to use VCDS to go ahead and prime the air out. So I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but it's very, very, very important not to start the car. Now that I'm in the car, go ahead and turn on the ignition. I'm going to say this again. Turn on the ignition, do not turn on the car. So we're going to go in VCDS, we're going to go to select. Once that is up, we're going to go to 01 engine right here. Once we're here, we're going to go to basic settings 04. Click on that. In the drop down menu, you can go down to the third one. Here it says test of transfer fuel pump right here. So you can go ahead and click on it. And you're going to press go. So before I said press go, you want to hear the fuel pump. So I'm going to go ahead and roll down the window right now. So I'm going to go press go. I don't know if the camera will be able to hear this. And also this light is flashing, so that's perfectly normal. So what you want to do, this is about for 30 seconds or so. Then you want to press stop. And now you can hear the fuel pump isn't running, activating. So I'm going to go ahead and press it again. So what I want to do this, you want to do this about at least 3 times, 30 seconds each. So again, fuel pump and press go. I have to really make sure that there is no air in that fuel filter. Alright, it's been another 30 seconds. Go ahead, press stop. You can go done and go back, and now we can exit out of the VCDS. So that's how you use VCDS on how to prime the fuel filter on the TDI. So now there's one more check I need to do before we can call this done. And the final check I was mentioning is to make sure there's no leaks. Since now that we had fuel running through the filter now, there's no leaks. I know my hands are perfectly dry. Try to get a little sniff test. There's no diesel smell at all. So that's how you know there is no leaks. So with that being said, this is how you change the fuel filter on a Audi Q7 TDI, and also how to prime the fuel filter. Again, thank you for watching. Hope this video was helpful, and have a good one.